Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got another episode of Women Are Retarded, Part 5. Not often that the worlds that I hate collide so well as they have this week, but we're in for a special treat, because not only do I get to show you women being retarded, but I get to show you Indian women being retarded and white women who are supporting Indian women and Muslims without realizing how retarded they are. So it's gonna be a fun time today. So JD Vance gave a talk at Ole Miss and he addressed questions from the crowd about immigration, about our support for Israel, about a lot of things that actually the real people on the right want answers to. And of course, we had to have a boss bitch stand up and challenge the man, doing it for female power and represent for all the immigrants, talking about how much she loves America and how she's been duped. Before we get into that, the first bit of business that they're apparently pissed off about is that JD Vance said that he hopes that his wife will convert to Christianity. Oh no, not Christianity, anything but the real religion. Sorry, I don't know why my nose is getting itchy, George, when I'm recording these things. But the last video made it look like I was doing cocaine, so I don't want to do that. So we'll take this out, obviously. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and watch JD Vance talking about this. I actually thought it was a very nice message. This is why it's important to watch these videos and not the captions, because people always put their emotional tinge on things, and then you can think they said things they didn't say when actually their response was pretty reasonable.
Everybody has to come to their own arrangement here. The way that we've come to our arrangement is she's my best friend. We talk to each other about this stuff. So we decided to raise our kids Christian. Our two oldest kids who go to school, they go to a Christian school. Our 8-year-old did his first communion about a year ago. That's the way that we have come to our arrangement. But thank you. My 8-year-old was also very proud of his first communion. Thank you, guys. I'll tell him that Ole Miss wishes him the best. But I think everybody has to have this own conversation when you're in a marriage. I mean, it's true for friends of mine who are in Protestant and Catholic marriages, friends of mine who are in, atheist and Christian marriages. You just got to talk to the only advice I can give is you just got to talk to the person that God has put you with, and you've got to make those decisions as a family unit. For us, it works out. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way. But if she doesn't, then God...
Look at this pagan over here getting all agitated. When you mention God to demons, they really don't like it.
God says everybody has free will, and so that doesn't cause a problem for me. That's something you work out with your friends, with your family, with the person that you love. Again, one of the most important Christian principles is that you respect free will. Usha's closer to the priests who baptized me than maybe I am. They talk about this stuff. My attitude is you figure this stuff out as a family, and you trust in God to have a plan, and you try to follow it as best as you can, and that's what I try to do.
I mean, sounds pretty reasonable. If you believe in your religion as the one true faith, then yeah, you're gonna want your spouse, whom you love, to eventually come around and see the light of the truth, right? If you don't want that, you either don't love your spouse or you don't really believe that your religion is true, in which case, why are you even bothering? So I don't see anything wrong with what he said, okay? But the demons do, because if there's one thing demons hate more than whites, it's Christian whites. And we're gonna tune into this woman in a second. But as you can see, here we go. We have a nice white, apparently pro-American. It's very weird to see a Democrat with an American flag, and it's not on fire. because they really hate this country. She said, I'm sorry, they've been married for 11 years and he is somehow still hoping she will change religions and saying it in public. If I'm her, I'm pissed. See, that's why you're not her. That's why your dumbass is a Democrat and you're probably going 50-50 on bills, thinking like you're a boss and stuff, and helping bring in a bunch of migrants who are going to replace you and your children, and probably trying to have some, maybe you're keeping your babies. I don't know what's going on. I hope you do. You've got great Aryan features over here, right? I hope you wake up and smell how retarded being a Democrat is. That's probably not going to happen. He said, I tell her in private and I'll say it publicly. Seems pretty above board. Let's see what this demon over here had to say.
Hello, Mr. Vice President. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to talk.
First of all, did I just call AT&T customer service? Why do I have to be subjected to this ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling accent every time one of you open your mouth, okay? You've been in this country long enough. There is no excuse for you to sound like that, okay? And it's crazy because no matter where in the world they live, when they learn English, they all learn it in this idiotic way. And by the way, they think we're not pronouncing English correct. Talk about arrogance. Anyway, let's move on.
Talk here today. I did not agree with many of the things that you said right ahead of.
There you go. Just like I have to let you know that I did not agree with many of the things that you said, like the Christian part, and like you don't wanted people like me who are going to come in and live like 20 people to a house and make it all smell like curry and diarrhea. I don't like that. Okay, it's a combination of the woman and the Indian hubris, where I'm so important, I have to tell the vice. Can you guys imagine being an immigrant in another country and telling the second in command what you think they should be doing in their country? I mean, literally, what the This is where white people have fallen so substantially. This is why the rest of the world doesn't respect you. This is why you're totally cucked. Because you let people like this talk to the vice president and tell them that I don't like the way that you're deciding to run your country that I'm a guest in. By the way, the country that you created to be better than the country I left that made me want to come here. I don't like the way you're running it. I'd like you to run it like the crappy country I just left so that everybody could be miserable.
Of this, but I don't think that's my point to discuss here. What I want to ask is, you are married to a woman who is not Christian. In her Wikipedia, I mean, I just looked that up. I wanted to know what her faith was. I didn't know this before. But she still calls herself Hindu. You are raising three kids in cultural, racial, religious household. How are you maintaining, or how are you teaching your kids not to keep your religion ahead of their mother's religion? Or how are you teaching them that your kind, they're that kind who got here just few years or few decades ago is different or is better than your mom's kind who got here just a generation before? How are you balancing that? And when you talk about too many immigrants here, when did you guys decide that number? Why did you sell us a dream? You made us spend our youth, our wealth in this country and gave us a dream. You don't owe us anything. We have worked hard for it. Then how can you, as a vice president, stand there and say that we have too many of them now and we are going to take them out to people who...
I will try.
I'm sorry. I had to say all of this.
It was created for me by my cousin Sanjit Pardeep. He made a job for me because when we come to your country, that's what we do. We take the position and then we make fake position for our relatives. And now I'm making so much money. I go back to my country and I have slaves. But why did you do this to me? And now you want to make it stop. I don't like it, Mr. President. Also, I'm very angry and arrogant. Am I making sense?
Please take it with due. I mean, I'm saying all of
course.
this with
No,
due
go ahead.
respect. I
Please.
have no intention of causing a scene here or anything. But
we're not close to causing a scene.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But we talked about Christianity, all of this. I'm not even Christian, and I'm here standing to so support. Why are we making Christianity one of the major things that you have to have in common to be one of you guys, to so that...
I gotta get this back. I don't even know what country this is from, but I'm gonna do it, okay? Why are you making your number one religion that is part of your country the requirement to be part of your country? Why don't you make it being a Hindu like me so everybody can shit on the street for free? I don't understand why your Christian country that was made and founded by European Christians would want Christianity to be important for the kind of immigrants you are bringing in. This does not make sense to my stupid brain because growing up we did not have nutrition. We had cow shit. So now I cannot understand this thing that you want to make important that has held your society together forever. Also, the Jews brought me here.
I love America just as much as you do. Why is that still a question? Why do I have to be?
There we go. If you loved America as much as he does, which I don't even know how much JD Vance loves America, because let's face it, like most of these politicians are just here for power, and they've been put in by people like Peter Thiel and a bunch of other billionaires, Miriam Adelson, etc., etc. But if you did, you would have learned a little bit of history and saw that America was founded as a Christian nation. So, yeah, Christianity would be important, even though I know it's not really your fault that you don't realize it, because after the 60s, thanks to a bunch of people, tiny hat people, the breakdown of Christianity was in full force. If you want to learn more about this, I suggest you visit our sponsor, Antelope Hill Publishing, where you can find the book that breaks it all down right here. Kevin McDonald's Culture of Critique. He breaks down the way they took Christianity apart, how Christianity and Europeanness was known to be a part of the American identity. And it was deliberately destroyed so as to destroy any kind of cohesive national identity that could withstand the force of a certain invasive group who wanted to take over and use America to fight her wars, starting at least from World War I. Highly suggest you guys go check out antelopehillpublishing.com. Use my promo code LEO for a discount. I don't know what it is, but listen, I know a lot of you guys don't read. I know a lot of you guys don't like books, and you're like, well, I don't want to order this book because I could just go online and get it. Listen to me and listen good. We don't know how much longer we have with society functioning when we have people like Rashida Tlaib in Congress, okay? Electricity may not be around in 10 years. At that point, you're going to want books like this to teach your kids why they should be Christians and hold on to their Eurocentric identity and learn for yourself how deeply you've been brainwashed, okay? Shout out to Kevin McDonald. He signed my book, and I'm cool like that. Kevin McDonald, awesome guy. You guys should. If you don't know that book, I mean, how do you even call yourself racist when you don't even have things to back you up? And if you don't like this, go on their website and find other books. They don't have this book yet, so I don't know why I'm pitching it, but this is a great book, A History of Central Banking. If I'm trying to get this in frame, here we go. If you really want to learn why we're so effed and how long this has been going on, I would check this out. I'm talking to Antelope Hill Publishing. They will have this book on the website by the time the video comes up. I can guarantee it. And if it doesn't happen, who cares? Get these books. But here's what's awesome about this, okay? All of these people are talking about, she was a brave woman. They sold immigrants. Nobody sold immigrants crap. You understand? Immigrants were like, hey, that country has economic opportunity and functional people in charge. I'd like to go there and destroy it. That's what happened. They didn't come over and go, how do I help? They go, how do I come in here and get all the money? So nobody owes you anything. Brian, you're black. I guarantee you your job has been taken by an immigrant because pretty much we could probably get anybody to do your job, most likely. Brian, you know, you're just falling for the propaganda of all the colors got to be together. All the colors got to... Yeah, I got a place. There's plenty of places where all the colors are living together. None of you guys want to live there because it's run by the coloreds. And of course, the women are being extra retarded. Anna K. Gorish, is that like a Swedish name? Standing up, saying her point is unassailable. We made promise. Who made promises? Nobody made any promises. You know, my parents didn't get any promises. They were just like, hey, let me out of Albania because Albanians are here. I want to be with Americans. And then they came here, they didn't go, hey, America, you should be more like Albania. But you know why? Because they literally just left that place. They were happy America was the way America was, and they were like, great, there's a functional society here that will allow me to develop myself and my talents and my skills so that not only I could be happy, but I could contribute to the society around me and feel a sense of purpose. They weren't like, gives me, I'm entitled, white people are evil, screw America. That wouldn't make any sense. They're just straight up making up stories talking about how it was his Hindu wife and her Hindu upbringing that helped him through tough times. This is the thing about Indians. They don't need facts for the things they say. And neither do women. We just say things. Here's another one. It takes, oh, I'm going to read this in the right. It takes a remarkable courage for a woman to publicly confront a powerful figure like JD Vance, that too in public. You can't even write in English. Okay, first of all, look at her smug face. Here's me with my bindi and I'm smugly judging the vice president of the country that I'm a guest in. Okay, really? It takes a remarkable amount of courage. Why? What would happen to her in America? You don't mean something like this? Would something like this happen to her for talking? No. Maybe something like this. Maybe something like this. See, this woman shows a remarkable amount of courage because she still stays with this man and actually ends up talking to him, and he ends up hitting her again. Even though there's another man here who's basically telling him, stop, you're out of control. He's hitting her in front of his 2 children. No problem. I don't see feminists talking about this. I don't see lots of browns talking about this. I don't see the pro-immigration crowd talking about all this stuff that we're importing. And yes, she's a Muslim, but we also know this happens in the Indian culture. It happens in the Latin American culture. It pretty much happens in every non-white, non-Western culture. And people there don't really blink because they know women are retarded. By the way, weak men, I truly believe weak men are the only men who beat women. Okay? If you're strong, you're going to go fight someone your own size. And if you're strong, you're going to respect your woman and be able to control your emotions such that she would respect you. Okay? But you can't, and that's why it's all dysfunctional. This is going to continue on forever, and they're all going to be imported and exported all over the Western world. And this is coming to a Costco near you. On the mark with today's retardation, we've got this woman, Allie Beth Stuckey, which is supposedly a conservative trad wife. And she's out here saying that we need men, we need you, we need your masculinity and your strength and your courage, and we need those things to be harnessed. So let's just...
Has failed women. Second one, are you ready? Are you ready? Porn has weakened men. And you know, Charlie was so good at talking about this and so good at talking so courageously and sternly and clearly to the young men. Here's what we know about porn and why it is so detrimental, not only to men, although it disproportionately affects men, but it objectifies women and children. It commercializes sex.
Yes, porn does it. Women never, ever objectify themselves. It's porn.
Which is a gift from God for a married couple between one man and one woman, and it glorifies violence. It creates addiction and shame. It destroys marriages. It ruins your perception of other people. It is the legal loophole for sex trafficking. It is evil in every way, and it will destroy your life. And this is what I would want to say to men, and I hope that you hear it from strong men in your life, that men, we need you. And we need your masculinity, and we need your strength, and we need your boldness, and we need your courage, and we need those things to be harnessed for good. We need you to be solid pastors. We need you to be strong leaders.
I wonder if this Allie Beth Stuckey would ever, I don't know, maybe dive into who owns the porn companies and who fought for the legalization of porn and who specifically said that they run the porn industry out of hatred for Christians. I wonder if she would ever do that. Here's why this is a problem, because it's not necessarily a bad message. I mean, we all know porn is bad. We do know that we need men and their masculinity. That's all fine. The problem is you're literally doing the opposite of that by being a woman, preaching to men and telling them you need their masculinity. I'm sorry, I don't have the solution. I can't help men be men. They need to do that themselves or learn from other men. And you know what women have done? They have destroyed every single male-only club and institution and activity because we don't want to be left out because you might be looking at prostitutes when you're together. I don't know why. The Jews told me to do it. So when you do that, you break down all of the structures that were in place to preserve masculinity and to help men come of age and become men. This is why you see, one of the reasons you see low T males is because every avenue for them to fulfill their male expression has been closed off, and it's been closed off by harpy women who are upset that men might be having fun without them, which, by the way, is the only way men have fun these days, because women, you're party poopers. So the reason that Allie Beth didn't get it, because she thinks she's just making a fair message or whatever, is that women, our job is to police other women. So when hoes like this are posting on Instagram, do not comment oh, go girl, you're body positive. Don't comment that. Be like, hey, you're a slut. Put some clothes on. Nobody wants to see your elephantitis legs that you got going on because you've been brainwashed by rap culture to think the place where your poop comes out is the hottest and most valuable attribute, okay? And you're not going to believe the caption on this. The caption on this is that this is what pregnancy does to your body, and so that's why I say no. So classic going on over here. Like to steal your man when you're pregnant because you're out of commission. But believe it or not, this is not the peak female form. This is the peak female form because this represents exactly what the female body was designed to do. Give life and continue the human race. Something no male body can do no matter what the TV tells you. This is an attempt to imitate male peak form, and you're always going to fail because men are always going to be able to outcompete you. So that's my 2 cents on that. Women do not need to be preaching to men. The time for you to preach to men is when they're little kids, 10 and under. That's the time. The boys that you're raising, that's where you want to encourage their ADHD. They don't have ADHD. They're just boys with testosterone levels. They want to destroy things. They want to explore things. They want to pull little girls' hair. You teach them how to manage their impulses and their urges without crushing them and making them little sissies or, God forbid, putting them in a dress. And the truth is that women need to be talking to other women and telling them to zip it, to let their men have their male gatherings and coalitions because women should not be there because it just changes the mood. Like when you ladies are having a ladies' time, you don't want a guy around. It changes things. There are times for co-ed activities, but we can't be involved in everything. So as much as that's a good message, this is why it really misses the mark. Maybe tell women to stop being in porn. I agree. I think men shouldn't be watching porn. They're not going to listen to me, okay? They're trying to probably create some AI-generated porn right now. They need to hear it from other men, i.e., from people they respect. And as much as you want to be somebody that men respect, it's just not the dynamic between men and women, and it's not supposed to be. And the truth is you don't really want it to be, okay? This is why all the fairy tales are about the princess. The princess is special. The princess is somebody that the knight goes to rescue and helps. It's not because he respects her. It's because he cherishes her. He values her femininity. He wants to protect and preserve the innocence and delicacy of a woman. He doesn't want to be lectured to, you gotta, no. That's not how it works. It's completely inverted, and it puts us in the masculine role. And here's the other problem, Allie. We're over here saying we need men to be masculine, okay? And then we have women going out. They have all the freedom in the world, and they're using that freedom to literally enslave themselves and import third world browns who want to and murder them. It's pretty hard for the men in our lives to be the masculine leaders and protectors when every time they take one step forward in that direction, we take 2 steps back by voting for people like Mamandi or whatever the heck his name is in New York, by saying things like, I'm Muslim too, by celebrating every time a black criminal gets let off the hook. So this is, your attention needs to be on women. And what you should really be telling women is, hey, if you're not going to vote the way your man wants you to vote, you probably shouldn't vote. I know you don't like it, but it's the truth.
That I've learned so far as I'm reading the Quran is that technically I'm a Muslim. I don't know why it makes me so happy. Like, technically I'm a Muslim, lowercase m, because I believe in God and I strive to be a good person. Like, how freaking cool is that? I can't wait to throw so many people for a loop when I tell them I'm Muslim.
Does that sound like a woman who's happy to you, or does it sound like a woman who's trying to seem happy? You know when I'll believe you that you're a Muslim? When you marry a guy who does this because you made a video talking about being a Muslim. So when women have power, they do stuff like this. They do stuff like this. I mean, what even is this outfit? Dancing because you're happy you voted for Mamdani. All right? So he's going to flood your country with infinite browns. He hates people like you. You know why? Because you're a white woman. He despises you, okay? Because he will never be able to produce one of you. Like this one, right? Somebody said, here's a man telling you, do not vote for Zoran Mamdani. What? Too bad, I already did. What do you think Mamdani wants? Do you think Mamdani, this charlatan who can't even lift 135 pounds, who is surrounded by the Sudan as he gives a talk to New Yorkers, do you think he cares if these migrants you? No. So ladies, you cannot be out there doing things like this and then at the same time saying we need men to be protected. They can't. They literally can't, because every time they try, you throw them in jail. Let me tell you what's actually going on with these ladies, because female psychology is geared towards our survival, and it's different than male psychology. And we can fault women for it all we want, but it's not going to change that it is what it is, and we're designed to survive in a world where we don't have physical power. So when we don't have physical power, women intuitively can sense where the power is. And they do everything to ally themselves with wherever the power is, because it's a protective mechanism. Because even though she may be white and like white men, even though she also is white, even though she's also white and her offspring will be white, and currently she may be allied with the whites, they know that the power is with the non-whites, because everything in their TV is telling them. The news is constantly talking about how great the hordes are. And then they're seeing the hordes being able to come in and get away with literal murder and nothing happens to them. So they understand that the Browns are in charge. And so what they're doing is signaling, I'm one of the good ones. When you guys finish conquering America and England and Ireland and France and Germany, please don't me. I'm Muslim too. That's what they're doing. That's what's going on in female psychology. And this is why you can't let women vote, because they will go with the tide power, whether or not that power is right, and whether or not it's good for their offspring in the long run. They don't think that way. Men do. Okay, before I get further into this charlatan who I'm not sure why anybody's voting for, make sure you go to my website, leonardaisfunny.com. Sign up for my mailing list. I am going to be doing uncensored videos coming anytime now. And if you want to be a part of that, you want to sign up for my mailing list. If you want to hear about new show dates, when I'm coming to your city, all on the mailing list. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me out here. Help a sister out. I'm doing the Lord's work, and I need your help. Anyway, here's Mamdani. This is the guy, by the way, that they're trying to vote in for mayor of New York. Look at that collection of Americans. So nice to see all these Americans, New Yorkers, native New Yorkers.
This moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City.
Muslim. That's you, bro. You are the Muslims. There he goes. He's gonna start crying.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Oh my God, that's so sad. By the way, he doesn't even really have an aunt that came out, and everybody was saying, oh, then they started to cover up. Oh, I guess white people don't know about an auntie. Okay, listen, don't gaslight us. He said aunt. His aunt, that's who we should feel bad. Take off the hijab. You're in America. Why are you allowed to wear a hijab here is crazy. If I go to a Muslim country, I have to wear a hijab, right? Because I'm in a Muslim country, so I don't go there. If you come to a Christian country, you shouldn't be allowed to wear a hijab. Period, the end. I don't care. And some of these people are just straight up wearing a burqa, so all you see some eyes like that. I mean, listen, if you're a man and you want to be a woman, you want to go in a woman's bathroom, this is the way. You guys are doing it all wrong. You know, you're getting your wigs out, you're doing your makeup, you're wearing your sexy clothes. You think this is the way to be accepted as a woman. No, you got to put a burqa on, do some really nice eyelashes. Most people aren't going to be able to tell that there's a dude on there. You can use the bathroom, the women's bathroom, and peek through the stalls like what you really want to do. And nobody's going to say anything to you because if they try, you just accuse them of being Islamophobic. So this is who people are voting for, this liar, this charlatan. I don't understand how people don't see this guy's a sociopath. And in case you're like, no, it's just because the Jews don't want him. Bill Kristol came out in support of Mamdani, and he is a Jewish neoconservative supporting a Muslim who apparently doesn't like the Jews. You make it make sense. Try and understand why this would be the case. Here's his dad talking about how America is the root of all evil and that Hitler learned genocide from Abraham Lincoln. So if his dad is saying that, what do you think he's thinking?
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They heard.
I love this because he talks about America being the prototype and Abraham Lincoln. America and England ended slavery, Abraham Lincoln being the most famous historical figure who had a hand in that. If we had exported that, there wouldn't be slavery in the Arab states right now, where Zoran Mamdani is from and his son, okay? There's still slavery going on. There's slavery going on in Libya and in the African countries, and slavery was actually started by the Arab states. So also, when they talk about colonialism, they always act like we went there and exploited and destroyed their countries. But if you go look at all the countries that had colonialism, they should be doing better now that colonialism isn't there. But they're not. They're worse. They're infinitely worse. And the people still cannot say that that is because they are in charge. No, they still go, it's because the colonialists were here that we're having such a hard time and they took all our resources. Well, wait a second. Wouldn't they have taken all your resources while they were there? So shouldn't your country have been doing worse while they were there? They're not there. They haven't been there in decades. They haven't stolen any of your resources in decades. Why haven't you used them to boost your country up to even a better level than you were during colonialism? If you did that, I might say, yeah, you're right. You're right. You were exploited. Actually, the truth is you were ruled by your superiors who helped you organize, end corruption, and use resources you didn't even know you had. But frankly, the way I feel is like, just leave them alone. Let them go to their own devices. Stop sending them U.S. aid. Don't teach them all the skills of farm. They can figure it out. They're smart. They're brilliant. They built everything. So why are we doing all this work? So this is who women are voting for. Women and gays, by the way. Pretty awesome. Because as this guy says, this is the fate of every man under Sharia law. You dumb. Yeah. Yep, because women and gays have the same levels of testosterone and therefore the same impaired cognitive abilities. So they don't make decisions that are best for their long run. They make decisions for right now. Being accepted by the tribe right now. Not being a threat right now. So this guy, is everybody just super fucking racist? Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when it comes to uniting on color lines, no one is better than doing that than the Browns. Here's this insufferable, I can't say what I want to say because I'm on YouTube, but he's insufferable. Because JD Vance comes out and rightfully calls out Mamdani for his little tear jerker and says, according to Zoran, the real victim of 9/11 was his auntie who got some allegedly bad looks. And he's right. JD Vance doing a good job calling out this BS. Okay, still don't trust him. What does he say? He reduces JD Vance's wife to being nothing more than a brown woman and him having mixed race kids, which means that he should not publicly mock other brown people whom he may have nothing actually in common with. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the Browns have to stick together. By the way, you're racist. This is why I really think white people, you need to stop caring about this stupid word because they are using it against you. They are holding you to values that they themselves do not hold, okay? And this is where women have a huge role because these white women are the ones who are policing everybody's speech. So instead of policing her own caloric intake and expenditure balance, she's busy policing other people's language because she knows she'll never really have high status on looks, which is really where women get evaluated. So she's trying to find an alternate route, which is called, I'm the most moral person in the system. And if I can point out to how this other probably hotter girl is less moral than me, I can elevate myself in the status. But that's an illusion because the dudes are still going to bang the racist hot chick before they even touch you, unless they're gay simps, in which case they're still not going to touch you.
Office, white people have gotten comfortable saying a lot of slurs. I was out at the bars in Chicago last night and so many white women were saying the N-word and just singing it in all of the lyrics. It has never been okay to say that word, but since Trump has been in office, I think white people are especially...
Actually, it's always been okay to say that word. That's why it's in every rap song. That's why everybody says it to each other. That's why white people get so excited when a black person calls them the N-word. Yeah. Look, guys, if you're going to put it in every song, and I like your song, I'm going to say it, even if I'm not listening to the song.
Emboldened. I'm a confrontational person. I don't give a... So I walk up to them and I'm like...
You're confrontational because you're a bull. And most women are you have about 100 pounds on most women. So yeah, it's pretty easy to be confrontational when you can literally sit on someone.
Why are you singing this? Don't sing this word. That's not okay. And she goes, you're not any fun. What? Who?
That's how we know that girl was hot. That's how hot girls talk. You're not any fun. And here's the thing. I don't even think she went up to this girl. I just think she saw this hot girl and then she started going into this fantasy about how could she peg this hot. Maybe the hot girl was saying it and grinding on some black dude and the black dude's like, yeah, whatever, ma, I don't care. Maybe because they're in Chicago. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's based, okay? She sees this. She invents a whole story. Now she's going to come here and she's going to go on TikTok and be a hero. Look at me. I police other white women. Please, daddy government, give me some points. Maybe there's a black dude. I heard black dudes like fat white women. Look at me. I'm one of you.
Who cares? No one's even paying attention. It's crazy how with the rise of fascism and authoritarian that not saying slurs and telling someone not to say slurs means that you're not fun. I am at a club.
It's so crazy to me that people who literally want to limit your speech and the thoughts you can think and the things you can say think you're the fascist. This is why you know women are not good with logic. In your use of the word fascist, which you obviously also don't even know what fascism is, because if you did, you'd be like, based. But fascism, in your mind, the way you're using it, is a limitation on freedoms, dictatorship, genocide. That speaks to a government that controls what you say first. Because if they can control what you say, they can control what you think, they can control what you do, and then if you say the wrong thing, you think the wrong thing, you can be genocided. So amazing to me that these women say this. And more proof that fat, ugly women love what's going on with the rape migrations because it's revenge for them. So here was this poor 16-year-old girl who was raped by an Eritrean named Muhammad. Creativity, love the creativity. Everybody's named Muhammad. It's like the Mexicans name all their kids Jesus. Amazing. And the Swedish court, i.e. this she-muth of a judge, didn't deport him because it didn't last long enough. And you can't even wish the same fate on her because she would enjoy it. That's what she's angry about. How come nobody ever talked? Because you're a wildebeest. So this is, again, why women shouldn't be given political power. Because regular women, cute women, beautiful women like Maya, who's got feminism coming through, she's demure, she's got innocence, she doesn't want political power. She wants to find a nice Swedish boy named Sven so they can have their wonderful children and raise them together in the hillside of Sweden. I don't know what accent that is. But Lena is mad because man won't look at her. And her only way to get power and victory over her is to wield the power of the migrants who come in. She lets them in because she's in no danger of getting molested, to her dismay. So that's my video today, folks. Remember the message: women will always be retarded. It's your duty as men to protect us from our own retardation. And we've even stopped you from that. So on behalf of all women, I'm sorry.